Welcome back to the reality, guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
What's going on, everybody?
We are back to talk surviving Barstool. This is season 3, episode 7. Full spoilers here in the review. Make sure you are subscribed here and on the TikTok. We do different reviews, news, and clips on there as well. Brian, another great episode for surviving Barstool. A double elimination, surprise second tribal council. We had a vote split, tie, a lot of different elements, a couple great challenges that throw back to old school Survivor, kind of current day, like Love Island esque things. So, before we kind of just dive into the individuals, like what were your overall impressions, main thoughts from the episode?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Like you said, the showing an old challenge that Survivor used to do with the voting is, I think, a great challenge. It's something that Survivor should bring back, but I think they're too soft nowadays. But I think it's also great with a group of friends. Like, I think it's even better, like the voting and how it came down to. And it's just also that game shows your allegiance, like where you're knocking, in this case, you're breaking like mini statues, but it's the same thing. And it's awesome. And I love the surprise or elimination too, because then you can't really scheme and do all those things. And I think that was good.
Like you said, doing these kind of things with your friends is really fun. It gives us that like Jackbox element. If you've
Yeah.
ever played that online, it's a mobile game on your phone or on your TVs, your PlayStations. House of Villains just did a challenge like that too, where people are voting for who they thought had the funniest line, right?
Mm.
Being able to kind of see what each other thinks of each other, whether it's positive or negatively, really does spur up a social game. And I think the only criticism I would have of having this challenge is I wish they had this way earlier. I think, even a couple episodes in now, there's whispers next year for the season that they're going to try to do like 20 people.
That's
So,
awesome. That's
like,
amazing.
that would be great. But then I want this earlier. I want this when there's like 12 people or 11 people, right? Like, I want it to
Yeah.
be able to kind of be a catalyst for, really, frankly, for strife. And I really think this episode had everything. Like you said, the voting challenge, Brian, really fun. I also liked the second challenge. Sometimes simple challenges are great. The over under. Hey, here's a
Mm.
number. If you were paying attention to the game, or if you have a little bit of an insight into Barstool, and obviously they're all employees, so they're going to know what you're talking about. You have a chance there. You really don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be the most athletic. You just have to
Right.
have relative common sense and a little bit of knowledge. And so again, I think again, it just harkens back to you don't need to do this extraneous puzzles and rope challenges and all the things to be. The social game will be there regardless if you're on Fiji or if you're on Fifth Avenue. You know what I mean?
Right. You don't need to untie knots every challenge and things like that. But saying about like doing the challenge earlier, if you wanted it, the earliest you could do it as immediately after merge on the show.
Yeah.
Because it's an individual game. But yeah, I agree with you. Like the knowledge of knowing the show, it's simple over under, and that's why Vice said that he thought this is the best chance he had to win because it was a chance game.
I think Fights is underplaying or really just not understanding that like everyone likes him. He could totally be a winning candidate if he gets to the
Yeah.
final three because he's a goofball and he's always been like that. And Fights, if you know the history of Barstool, should be a very rich man and isn't. Like he's the one who came up with Saturdays for the boys. He's come up with a lot of their things, but he doesn't have any. He also one of the original guys who didn't have ownership in it when they were first getting bought. He was like one of the kind of like got first couple guys in that wasn't like right after the guys who had stake in it. So it's just like, and he's always just gone with it with like a great attitude and whatever. He's got a big podcast, big brand. So like he's fine. Right. But like, it's the kind of guy that like is right on the fringe of like, you got the really rich guys. Like no one probably wants to give Will Compton 100 grand. He was an NFL player, right? Like KFC is rich. They really don't want to give it to him. No one was going to really want to give it to PFT. He's super rich too, because of
Mm.
part of my take. So it's like, you really have like the Che guy who lives in like or now moved to Chicago, but like normal dad with like kids. And you have Jerry, who's the former crack addict now, but like working at Barstool and has a kid, has his house that he's pretty sure is haunted. Things like that. Like you want to give it to like the regular people. Fights is like right in the middle there. So honestly, I'd be fine with him winning too.
Yeah, and I actually like the way, like, spoiler alert, PFT is one of the guys to go home, but like even just the way he left, he's like, dude, I don't need this money. Like, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to play. You guys, you need to vote me out. Like he was like insisting on Jerry to do it, but he just wouldn't do it. I think that might bite Jerry in the butt. Like just not
He
listening
burned
to
his
like,
idol, which
yeah,
sucks for him
yeah,
because he could have instantly just used it tomorrow in the first tribal, no matter
Yep.
what, right?
Yep.
And this happened. Like, and look, you're never gonna, they're not gonna always know that, but like both times that idols have been played, the last two times, at least Tommy obviously worked, but the last two times just completely burned for the person that wasn't going home. So hopefully next season we get to see a little bit better idol play, but that's a, like I said, a minor complaint. Uh,
Yeah, these guys aren't. They're just. I'm not. That's something
they're
that
just
doesn't really bother
dudes.
me in this game. Like this in the real show, it would piss me off so much. But in this one, it's like half these guys don't even watch the show, so like they have no clue. That's what I love about it. They're like, I'm just happy to be here, and it's different than flying out to Fiji where there's a million applicants that want to be there. This is just the work pool. So
Yep, exactly. We've talked about PFT in the second, but obviously in the first one, and finally a smart move by everyone,
yeah,
including Will Compton. Uh, Tommy Smoke's gone. I respect that he's laughing. He really didn't have anything he could say to defend himself even this week. He's
yeah,
just like, I just don't think it makes sense for me to go home. But
yeah.
that
I mean,
trying to
it's
be,
just classic. What is he
what are you
supposed
supposed to
to
say,
do?
right?
Yeah.
Like, and you're not going to try to convince them. You're just like, I don't think it should be me. As light as you can do it.
I really thought for a second that Jerry was gonna use like make a move and save Tommy, but
I was actually worried that he was going to save PFT, but they'd split the votes on him and PFT, and he goes home because he saved PFT. That was
that,
something I
that would have
thought
been
could have
really funny
happened.
though. That would have been really funny.
He would have went down like honorable. I bet like PFT, like if he had won or whatever, would have just given him the money. Like,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But I think that would have been that way. I mean, that it's still a great episode, but like we really wanted like fireworks if he saved Tommy there.
they made it sound like, I mean, we went from 5 to 3. I mean, from 7 to 5.
7 to 5.
They made it sound like we'll go from 5 to 3 tomorrow.
Yo, I mean, I think Wednesday is the final episode.
Yeah, to be the finale.
Yeah, so
So
I mean,
uh,
even if they don't, like tomorrow's 4 and then 3, because like we said, I think Wednesday's going to be like an hour 15, hour 20, and they'll go right, do the elimination, then do their final speeches, and then like the 15 minutes after, do their technically live reading. Oh, they're going to do live, right? You said it's live. They're
they
going to.
said the finale's live. So that's what it says. So I mean, it's going to be the final reading. Right? It's
Yeah,
not going to be that. I don't think it's not going to be them, like you said, pitching themselves. That'll be all
that'll be the
in the
beginning of
studio,
Wednesday.
and
Yeah.
then it'll be the live reveal. They said in Chicago. It's probably like in their Chicago office. They're probably doing it. So little
Yeah,
event.
everything that this show does, everything the old Survivor does. That's why I just really love it.
Over 120,000 last time I checked, bought 999. So I mean, way over grossing 1 million. So definitely helping to dent in that cost and all the stuff with YouTube. So I don't regret the
Yeah.
channel getting it. I thought it was great. And
Mhm.
like I said, we still got 2 more episodes. So
A lot of Factor commercials front loaded this episode. Did you notice that?
they definitely had a lot of factor stuff in there. Maybe they just like found these like jokes and references to be better than some of the ones in the former
Hmm.
episodes. So
Yeah.
they kind of went that heavy on
Yeah,
this
like
one.
the when the fights had the tunnel vision where he's like, "Yo, they got cookies."
Yeah, the fight stuff was funny this episode. I think they went heavy factor early, but then we had like just nothing but like
No, nothing
crazy
after that.
gameplay
Like I think because they probably knew that at the
from the
end. Like the
editing.
last
Yeah,
20 minutes, I thought were really good.
I agree. I fully agree. Love it. Think they did a
Yep.
great job. Definitely the best
Yep.
season of that show they've done. It is, like I said, we agree, and the quality's way up there. And some of the classic shows that this takes from could learn a thing or two about going back to basics. So
Yeah, just dumb it down. You don't need to go crazy. I don't
yeah,
understand.
basics, dude.
These are just dudes that
In
have
an
real jobs.
office.
Just putting, yeah, exactly. Just putting on a show. It's frustrating, man. It's so frustrating.
I know. I know. We'll wait till next season when they have full gymnasium and they have all access to all the other crazy stuff they have at that office. Like it's just
Mhm.
again going to be simple stuff. They'll probably play like knockout. You know what I mean? Like
I'm fine with that, man. That's the point of teams. Just doesn't need to be crazy. We don't need to untie knots. That's all. That's
that's all we're saying. Like I said, make sure you're subscribed here and on our TikTok. We are covering everything and anything reality TV. A lot of finales for shows we are covering just happened in the last few weeks. A lot of premieres coming January, February, including Vanderpump Rules, Survivor, The Bachelor, The Amazing Race will be back in March. All the Love Island All Stars in January. That'll be really big. We'll have every episode there. So plenty of coverage and plenty of other things that I'm not naming that just check our playlist and hit the notification bell and you won't miss anything. But for myself, Brian, everyone here at the Reality Guys, thank you so much for watching. Peace.